Hello and welcome to the Tarkis Zone. Here's yet another video I'm making for Black Desert Online. As like my other videos, this is really going to focus on a little bit of money making. If you've looked at my other videos, you'll see I have many ways to generate revenue in this game. And guess what? Here's a couple more. So here we go. I'm not going to bore you making you sit at the start screen. Let's get this done. The first thing you want to do, and I found that Heidel being very easy to live in. It's got pretty much everything you'll ever need, and it's pretty central. Now again, if you're not in Heidel and you've got another city that you like, what you're going to need to do is find these buildings that I'm going to be talking about. The first building you're going to see here that's got a worker at it, I'm going to click here, it's my refinery. This little refinery will make you leaps and bounds of money as long as you continue getting this worker going. And since I've had this building and this refinery going, it's never not been going. I mean, when he's done exhausted, I give him his beer and he's on his way. I always have the ingredients that I need to make what I need here. And I'm going to tell you how you can do that simply. What I am making here is grade 3 weapon reform stones. Those go for a ton selling price on the auction house or marketplace, let's say, and they always sell. So I'm going to click on here, and when it comes to workers, make a smart decision on what kind of worker you send here. I mean, make sure that it's one that wants to be in a factory. You know, if the guy's got potato picking +5, you know, that's the guy you don't want here. You want somebody here. I don't remember who I've got here, but he does absolutely awesome here. So I'm going to highlight what you need for this. The first thing you're going to see in the list is steel. I'll show you real quickly how to get steel. That's easy. The melted platinum shards is two ways. You can go out and mine rocks and hope the RNG is good for you. If you got a high gathering, it usually will be, and you'll get all the melted, or you'll get the shards, which you'll need to melt down. You'll get an abundant supply of that if your gathering's up. If you don't want to do the gathering thing at the rock nodes, just go on the auction house, look up melted platinum shard, and buy as many as you can. Because there's no way you're going to put any amount of money that is going to cost you these things and what you're going to get out. I guess what I'm saying is you could buy every item in this list and you're still going to make money on this deal. So the next thing is the black crystals. Those are really cheap on the auction house. Those I buy sometimes. I have a node in the abandoned mine that actually drops the prerequisite to the black crystals, and you grind those into these black crystals. So I do have a way for a worker to bring that in, but again, it is another one that you can buy on the auction house dirt cheap. Red tree lump, dirt cheap on the auction house. Clown's blood, dirt cheap on the auction house. You can buy all these. Just kind of watch the prices and see when they're at their lowest and buy them then. Or you could go find the nodes, especially the red tree lumps. I never have to buy that. I probably got 40,000 of those. I think I've got a birch tree north of Calpheon that gives me those. It's a birch node. I'd have to look in on that, but I've got more red tree lumps than I'll ever know what to do with. So it's really the clown's blood I spent a lot of money on, or not a lot of money, but I spend my money on. In my case, I don't like spending money, so any amount of money I spend is a lot of money. And the last thing here is your blackstone powder. And that, if you watch my other video, that's an easy peasy money maker. Just find the Tarkis Zone I think I called it easy money with investing little time, where you convert your time in the money, and it talks about how you can grind for the blackstone powder. So that's an easy peasy one here. So for example, I get all these ingredients, I send this worker out to do his task. I don't know, when I get up in the morning, I've got about 90 of them sitting in my inventory, and every single one of them will sell. And we'll go over to the auction house and look at the value of those. The other thing in this town I have, and it's the only other thing I'm really going to talk about in this video, is your costume mill. I make a lot of money selling the crafters, this one here, that I've got highlighted. It's a silver embroidered craftsman's clothes, and it's easy to make. Only needs the wool, the powder of flame. I've got a node that brings in powder of flame all day long, and the blackstone powder, which if you watch my my video that I told you to watch, you'll have more than enough. So the only thing you're going to need to make this work for you is the wool. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you the map. And you will find the wool node right here at Lynch Ranch. So that's basically, you're going to need, well, here's Heidel, where I'm highlighting. This is one node that you're going to need, this one here. You're going to need to invest in this node, and then invest in this node. And then obviously, when you click on here, you'll have to invest in the fleece production. So send a worker out here, get your fleece. That worker will send your fleece to Heidel. In this case, that's where he's out of. And from Heidel, what will happen is I will have to take the fleece and you heat the fleece using L. Hit L. It's under heating. You heat the fleece. I had just done this. That's why you don't see. I think you need 5 to make one of these. So once you heat the fleece, it will make this item here, the knitting yarn. And from the knitting yarn, what you'll need to do, hit the L, you'll need to grind that. See how it lights up? And then you click on that and you start grinding. And you'll grind the knitting yarn down into the wool. And then what you do is you just put the wool into your warehouse, and that worker will take that wool and go make those crafting costumes. I've got one in my inventory here. As you can see, these are its base stats, movement speed, and XP gain. But you'll notice that I have one that I'm wearing that's +1. You'll see the experience is up by 5%, success rate level 2. This is the one you'll be selling, because what you're going to do is have your worker make you many of the basic uniforms. This uniform right here. And then once you get, you'll have maybe 8 of them sitting in your warehouse. If you go through all your wool and you make sure you have the other ingredients, oh, let's say you got 8 of them he makes. When you get up in the morning, there's 8. What you want to do at that point, I'm going to stop my animation here and grinding. You want to go to the Black Spirit. You want to go to enchantment, and then you want to drag these crafting uniforms into these slots. See, I only have one, so I can't show you this, but for the sake of this video, let's say another one went in here. You could say skip animation, hit enchantment. Now what's going to happen is you probably will fail putting it together and they both will be destroyed, which is okay. I find out 2 fail stacks, you get a guaranteed hit, and sometimes I'll go 3 or 4 times in a row and get +1s, +1s, +1s without any failure. So that's what makes this wonderful, because what happens is the +1s sell for almost 800,000 silver on the marketplace, and they always sell. And there's no way you're putting that much money into doing this. And even if you fail trying to slap 2 together, let's say you destroy 6 costumes, you're still going to make, and I've never done that. I've never gotten to destroy, that's 3 attempts failing. I've never gotten that. I mean, this is so easy. Usually it's, the RNG loves me. So you cram 2 together, you get the +1, you sell it for 800,000 silver. Like I said, I was going to show you how much the weapon stones went for. So I'm just going to hit marketplace from my warehouse. I'm going to go find the weapon. Okay, there they are right there. Those are the 3 grade weapon stones I've made that I was making out of that factory. I'm going to right click. I'm going to say maximum. You only can throw up 5 at a time. I'm going to confirm that. That's 1,500,000 right there for 5 of these. And I'll tell you this, that is a phenomenal turnover for doing. I mean, really, if you want to do gather water, make beer, grind black powder stones, and do just these two things that I've showed you here, you would have more money than anybody on the server. I mean, this is just showing you how silly you can get with making money in this game. If you just find little things that you know sell and you know gonna make you some money. Even if you went out and bought all the ingredients off the marketplace, you're still going to make money on this. And as for the wool, I wouldn't bother. Send a guy up there, go get the fleece, get it yourself. I mean, that just makes it even more silly, stupid, much money you're gonna make. Because like I was saying, I would say 90% of the ingredients I have my workers bringing in. I only have to buy a few items, making this very good profit for me, because it's just the investment of the beer, which I make myself. Because you got to think about all your overhead. If you've got workers bringing in what you need, you still got to pay the workers, which you pay in beer. So your overhead for the workers is beer. So if you watch my beer production video, you'll have everything you need there to support your workers. Your workers go out and get you the items you need to do these kinds of passive incomes. Because this is, for the reality here, once these workers are going, they're going forever. Every time they get exhausted, I just say, look, full beer, repeat the action. And they're just doing this for me constantly. So this is a way to make money, silly money, without even trying. As you can see, I still got 46 of these things sitting in my inventory. I just get bored selling them. I mean, come on, at what point do you say, okay, you got enough money to do what you need to do? Because if you look at my stats here, let me go back into my warehouse just to tell you how silly crazy this is. This here is the cash I have on hand. I mean, this is actual cash, and this is just my warehouse in Heidel. These is the amount of assets I have in my bank. So there's really nothing in this game I can't have a worker make, or it just seems my workers just keep on bringing this in. And if I wanted to be crazy silly with this number, even if I just grabbed stuff and walked it over to the dock, I could, well, actually, I'll show you the example. I mean, I've got items that my workers bring in that you don't sell. They're those, I don't even know what you would call them. Like, here they are. They're wilted leaves. Basically, those just come in. They're only vendor items. I just filled my, you can't sell them on the auction house. I don't know really what you do with them other than vendoring them. But I'm just showing you this process that if you were having your workers just bring in crap all day and you didn't want to deal with the auction house, this is how silly stupid this is. Boom, right here. I just go to this person and I sell it. I say, okay, I don't want that. And boom, I just made all that money. And I could do that with every item I have in my auction house and still make money. Sometimes I just do that because it's just, I get one of those days, I got limited time, I just walk across the street, dump it to that guy. He's only giving me maybe 1/3 of its value, but still, most of it came in for free because I'm only paying for the beer and I'm making the beer myself. So I make the beer, the workers go out and get the stuff, I just vendor this stuff, and I'd still make money leaps and bounds. Now, there are some things that you want to put on the marketplace only because you know they're going to sell. But there are items in your inventory you'll bring in that nobody's ever going to pay you for, and you'll know what those items in, and you just walk them over to that dock vendor, and boom, they're gone. You've got the revenue to do whatever you want with. Well, that's really all this video was about, was showing you the two other ways that you can make money with, putting a little bit of effort in. I hope this video helps, and this has been the Tarkis Zone.